Fellow Devil Fruit users, Nokia Master 666 here. This time I'm not going to do a review, I am instead going to be doing a discussion slash predictions on, of course, One Piece, and it will be in replacement for the fact that there was no chapter this week. I did some for Naruto, did some for Bleach, but I haven't done one for One Piece because One Piece is on hiatus this week, so I figured, why not discuss chapter 730 onward in my predictions of sorts. Now, I've got three base topics. I'll try not to take up too much of your time, and they are going to be Doflamingo, Law, and Luffy, Trebol, Diamante, Pika, and Corazon, if I'm pronouncing that right, which of course is Spanish for heart, if I'm correct, of course, and Bellamy. Now, I'll start, of course, with the first topic, and this would be considered basically the elephant in the room, and by that I mean the super fucking obvious thing that we all hope or want to see at the very least because of last chapter, and that is the fact that Donquixote Doflamingo beat the shit out of and then shot point-blank range Trafalgar Law in front of Luffy. Luffy witnessed this. So my question is, what exactly will that entail? Is Luffy going to jump out and start fighting Doflamingo? Because he's not going to sit here and just go, oh well, let me get back to my shit. But I kind of don't see Luffy fighting Doflamingo now with this tournament still going on. I don't see how that's quite going to work. Maybe the tournament won't even finish. Maybe they'll pull a tuning exam from Naruto where it will just be interrupted. That is certainly a possibility. Another thing that could happen is that Luffy fights Doflamingo, loses, finishes the tournament, and then he gets the strength to fight Doflamingo later. I just don't see that situation happening because Doflamingo, if he beats Luffy, he's going to kill him, or at least fucking try to. So I don't know how this is going to be handled. Now, I personally believe that while it will be a Luffy versus Lucci that close of a match, I do. I believe that in the end, by the end of this arc, I believe that Luffy will beat Doflamingo. Now, in my last One Piece discussion where I talked about the Pirate Alliance Saga as it is labeled right now, I said, you know what, it would make sense since it's called the Pirate Alliance Saga that we'll be dealing with Dressrosa now. Doflamingo will be beaten. And then we'll move on to the third and final arc, which will deal with Kaido, where, of course, the Alliance will continue. But there are currently three things that made me change my statement. First is that Pirate Alliance Saga is not an official title for the saga named by Oda that I'm aware of. The second is that Dressrosa arc is going on quite long. And the last is that, well, obviously enough, I don't care if he beats Doflamingo or not, he's not going to touch Kaido. Kaido's a Yonko at the end of the day. Doflamingo, I theorize personally, and most would agree, to be under that of an admiral. Now, I still believe that Luffy will beat Doflamingo by the end of this arc and by the end of this saga. It is very quite possible that Dressrosa will be the last arc in this saga, and it will be instead be retitled Dressrosa Saga. That is certainly a possibility. My question is, given the next chapter onward, what exactly is Luffy going to do? What exactly is Doflamingo going to do? And is Law dead? I think I can answer at least a prediction on that one as well. I don't believe Law is dead for two reasons. One, we didn't get enough backstory from him. No, if I recall, correct me in the comments if I'm mistaken, we still don't know exactly what the Rocky Port incident is supposed to be. And we only have so much information as to why he hates Doflamingo. So I don't see Oda killing off a character, sorry, I'm stuttering here, a character as major as Law without any backstory or any good reason. The second, admittedly, is the one that convinces me the most, and that's the look in Law's eyes. They were whited out that look basically like what Luffy looks like when he falls in the water and he's just unable to move. Or, you know what I mean? He looks more like he's just unconscious and near death, not quite dead. I mean, look at any major character in One Piece who has died. Their faces do not look like they've just passed out and they're foaming at the mouth. It just doesn't work that way. So that's all I have on that particular topic. Now let's move on to the suited seats. Now, basically the ones that are confirmed are Trebol, Diamante, and Pika. Now, I'm pretty sure those are all Spanish for clubs, diamonds, and spade. And, by the way, Diamante is also Italian. So, there you go. Those are the three seats we have confirmed. Now, heart in Spanish, if I recall, is supposed to be Corazon. But the heart seat was supposed to be filled by Law before, well, things didn't go as planned. So my question is Is Corazon, so to speak, even going to show up? I see no reason why they would just mention the heart seat, who they were going to give it to, and then do nothing with it. I see a surprise guest potentially showing up and taking that spot. Now, let's discuss the ones that we do know and who they will fight. Let's operate under the assumption, obviously, that Doflamingo will be the strongest person in the Don Quixote pirate crew, and that, regardless of what the order might be, second, third, and fourth are going to be occupied by Treble, Diamante, and Pika. I just don't know which one in what order. But here's my theory. I believe that Luffy will fight Doflamingo. That's a given. And that the second strongest, Pika, or Spade, will be fought by Zoro. Why do I believe this? Why I believe Zoro will fight the second strongest is just too fucking obvious for me to even state. But as to why I believe that Pika is the second strongest is because he represents spades. And in most games that involve suits being over another particular suit, ace is usually highest. Ace is considered, I'm not sorry, ace, spades. Spades are considered the highest. So I'm thinking maybe he's the highest of those four. So, and Zoro. I believe that Treble will fight Sanji, and Sanji fighting the third strongest. My reasoning being two. The first is that the most obvious is Treble has Violet working under him. Sanji doesn't particularly like what Doflamingo, or Treble for that matter, has done involving Violet. So this would be his way of beating the ugly fuck that is Treble and convincing Violet to either join the crew or just be an ally in general. And while it is not confirmed, it is highly suggested that Treble is not only a devil fruit user, but he is a Logia given the substance of his body. Now, Sanji is confirmed to have armament hockey, particularly when Law asks which of the Straw Hats can fight Caesar, and Luffy says Sanji is one of them. If I recall, we have yet to see a clear-cut instance of where Sanji uses legitimate armament hockey, unless I'm mistaken. So this would be his chance to finally show off his armament hockey and give himself a boost. Excellent. And then lastly, we have Diamante. I'm operating under the assumption that he will be the fourth strongest. And the reason why is because I think to myself, well, who was the fourth strongest in CP9? That was Bluno, according to the Doriki levels. And the reason why Luffy fought him was because Oda basically said, well, shit, Bluno's too strong for anybody else. So I have to give Luffy, Zoro, Sanji a second match, and I figured, shit, why not Luffy? That makes more sense. So I believe it'll be the same instance here. So why specifically Luffy? Why do I even believe that Diamante is the fourth strongest? Why would I even associate him as the one to fight Luffy to begin with? Because he's the one hosting the Mera Mera no Mi tournament. Now you understand my reasoning. So as far as the heart seat, I don't know who will fill it in. I don't know if it's even going to be relevant, but I can only assume so. Lastly, we have the issue of Bellamy. Bellamy is clearly going to be redeemed. Even before he found out that Doflamingo was going to backstab him, again, we knew he was going to because we saw him look at that picture and have that sense of uncertainty. And there's a reason Oda brought him back. He said, shit, I want to bring back an old character and do something with him and have him redeem himself. That's why people are liking him all of a sudden and calling him important and whatnot, basically. So it's clear he's going to side with the Straw Hats in the end. I don't believe he'll be a Straw Hat himself, but that's basically what I believe. And the fact that Dillinger basically made it painfully obvious that Doflamingo wants him dead now, that pretty much double solidifies it. Now, what kind of role is Bellamy going to play? I think he's going to try and fight somebody. He might take out a low-tier member of the Don Quixote family. He's not fighting or beating. He's not beating Doflamingo. That's fucking obvious. He's not beating one of the three other suit holders. That's mostly obvious. But there's the potential that he'll fight a low member of the army and win. Or lose. Or maybe Doflamingo will come and just cut him up again. Maybe he'll die. Probably he won't. Luffy will be upset. And he'll fight. That's all I have as far as Bellamy. He's probably not going to show up again after Dressrosa. Assuming he even lives. But those are just my theories. So that's all for my discussion of One Piece chapters 730 onwards. If you enjoyed my discussions, enjoyed my reviews, etc., give me a like, give me a subscription. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. I'm Logia Master 666, and sayonara.